Welcome back to another episode with T with Q. In today's video, it's just going to be a little bit of a different topic. We are going to be talking about the Venezuela strike, and we're going to talk about the stock prices. We're going to talk about mental health. But before I get into this, right, if you have your teas, right, if you have your notebooks, make sure you guys sip on some tea, right, because a calm mind will lead you to making better decisions in the future. So at the end of this video, or even right now, if you go down, link in the description down below, you guys can check out some of that tea. I have cinnamon tea, raspberry tea, lemon tea. We have all different types of tea, you guys. So without further ado, I want you guys to watch both of these videos with me. And this is just a way that I can critique and convey my message a little bit differently. So here we go. Nice.
Being right now described as a seismic reordering of U.S. defense priorities. As in, it looks like the U.S. is preparing for war against Venezuela.
The U.S. has already put more than a dozen warships and 15,000 troops in the region.
The U.S. military has been spooling up for months now. In the Caribbean right now, American destroyers, guided missile cruisers, fighter jets, and at least one nuclear-powered attack submarine. The world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, is within striking distance of Venezuela. That's an estimated 16,000 soldiers and sailors ready for combat that has already begun.
President Trump has just revealed a deadly U.S. military strike. The image is just in tonight, the U.S. targeting a boat in the Caribbean.
The first U.S. missile strike on an alleged...
So I'm watching this back, and I realize y'all can't see the screen, so give me 1 second. Sorry, y'all. This is my first time doing this. I want to make sure I do this right, y'all. All right. Let's try this one more time. All right, now we got it. All right. So for this first video, guys, this is from 2025, December 19th, right? I'm gonna play the first intro, then I'm gonna play another video on how this escalated all the way up until today. And we're gonna connect this with the stock prices, and we're gonna connect this with mental health and also spirituality. So here we go. Video is kind of fast.
I've seen what's happening in the Caribbean right now described as a seismic reordering of U.S. defense priorities. As in, it looks like the U.S. is preparing for war against Venezuela.
The U.S. has already put more than a dozen warships and 15,000 troops in the region.
The U.S. military has been spooling up for months now. In the Caribbean right now, American guided missile cruisers, fighter jets, and at least one nuclear-powered attack submarine. The world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, is within striking distance of Venezuela. That's an estimated 16,000 soldiers and sailors ready for combat that has already begun.
President Trump has just revealed a deadly U.S. military strike. The image is just in tonight, the U.S. targeting the Caribbean.
The first U.S. missile strike on an alleged Venezuelan drug boat, September 2nd. Everyone dead. But dozens more would follow. Just shy of 100 killed, as of the time I record this, across at least 25 known U.S. attacks.
Venezuela has been very bad, both in terms of drugs and sending some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world into our country.
And this would be just the start. In November, Trump approves covert operations inside Venezuela to prepare for the possibility of a broader military campaign. The U.S. State Department brands the de facto ruler of Venezuela the head of a foreign terrorist organization. There's even a $50 million bounty for his capture. Trump routinely...
All right, so we saw this one. This was in December 19th, 2025. Date currently now is January 3rd. And I want you guys to see this one.
Now let's go to reaction that's pouring in from world leaders this morning who are waking up to a new reality with what happened overnight. We have our CB Cotton, who has been following reaction from all over the world. CB, there's been plenty of reaction here in the United States. Democrats, Republicans split on whether or not this was an illegal or legal move. But around the world, there's also harsh reaction as well. What can you tell us, CB?
Hey, Brian, that's right. Well, this morning, the UN Secretary General released a statement saying he is deeply concerned that international law may not have been respected. As you mentioned, global leaders are watching as all of this unfolds to see what comes next for Venezuela and U.S. foreign policy. In Europe, the European Council president released a statement, Antonio Costa, and he said he was following the developments with, quote, great concern, urging de-escalation and respect of international law. Some Latin American countries are also making similar calls. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum reposted the official statement of her country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which condemned the strikes as a violation of the United Nations and called for dialogue, not force. U.S. adversaries are also weighing in. Russia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, writing in part on X, quote, the pretext used to justify these actions are untenable. Russia reaffirms its solidarity with the Venezuelan people. Iran and its supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, which also has a long history of conflict with the U.S. Well, he has rattled off a series of posts this morning about the strike, including one which says in part, quote, "What's important is when one realizes an enemy wants to force something on one's government or nation with false claims, they must stand firmly against the enemy." But there are also voices of support. Argentina's president, a strong ally of President Trump, wrote, quote, "Freedom advances. Long live freedom." And in the UK, reform leader and staunch Trump ally, Nigel Farage, he questioned the legality of the attack, but said it may lead to a favorable outcome. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer had more a reserved take, saying he wanted to make it clear that the UK was not involved in these strikes, and he believes everyone should uphold international law. He also added that he wants to speak to President Trump and other UK allies. Brian, we're going to monitor it. Back to you.
No doubt. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Michael Waltz, just putting on X, this is not regime change. This is justice. Maduro was indicted illegitimate dictator that led a declared narco-terrorism organization responsible for killing American citizens. All eyes will be on New York City this upcoming week, as well as Caracas, Venezuela. CB Cotton, thank you from the United Nations.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily.
All right. Now we got that out the way, you guys. So before I go into this next one, right? When there is a mask military tactical invasion, right? This wasn't just something that just happened overnight. This was just a strategic tactical invasion, right? Whenever something happens like this, even though like I'm not in the military anymore, this creates investing opportunities if you know where to look, right? So in Perplexity, I asked, how does this war in major oil producing nations affect the caution optimism for the 401ks and the S&P 500? And what it gave me the response was, a war in a major oil producing country tends to lead to undermining caution optimism for 401ks and the S&P 500 by pushing energy prices higher, right? So if you guys are investing, ticker symbol right here, WTI oil, right? This is rising briefly, and as we can go right here where it says S&P 500, it doesn't really affect it that much too much, so that's good, right? But let me go ahead and stop sharing the screen. Okay, cool. Now we're back, you guys. So now you're probably wondering, why am I even talking about this when this is completely out of my niche, right? Well, we are multidimensional beings, and we have to become aware of what's going on around the world instead of what's going on just in our own neighborhoods, right? All of these things that is happening to the world actually connects every single one of us together, right? And when we're hearing stuff like this, right? I know a lot of people, right? They're not even watching the news. They're not even listening to the news, right? They're only worried about what they're going to eat for the day or what they're going to do for work. They're not worried about what's happening across the world. So at the nervous system level, right? If you're somebody that doesn't know how to regulate your nervous system, right? We talked about this in previous videos, right? This can hold a lot of tension and frustration against you from getting those results, or even having mental clarity for you to reach desired goals, or even do the iterations for the actions that you need to hit your desired goal or reality that you're trying to create, right? So the beautiful thing about this is, right, because even though there has been bloodshed, even though like it was needed in a way, right, at the soul level, right, it can breed uncertainty, right? But I also want to read something that I typed up, right? It's a test for what humans do with fear, right? Because right now we're seeing just a lot of fear that's happening right now, from people showing the airstrikes on their phones, on Instagram, TikTok, right? This can either pull people into numbness, division, or despair, or push them forward to deeper compassion for one another, right? Meaning and connection towards other people, other nations, right? The outer chaos exposes the inner fault lines that is happening within each and every one of us. Our relationships to control, security, and other people, right? And asks us whether we respond by hardening or by consciously choosing to become more present, right? And more spiritually grounded, right? So, depending on what you're seeing right now, right? Ask yourself, what does this mean for me? What does this mean for my city, my state, and my nation, right? Because it's bigger than just what you might think it is currently right now, because this is a global thing and we're all sharing this planet together. So I know some people could be scared of talking politics, but you have to become aware of what's going on around you. Once you become more aware, you can plan better, right? You're more able to understand, like, hey, maybe I need to take a step back, right? Or maybe I need to go a little bit harder, right? So depending on what you read, depending on, right, what you're listening to, just don't listen to a random guy on YouTube, because I'm currently just a random guy on YouTube, right? But this is just a way I just wanted to convey my message in a unique fashion, um, just to bring light into and awareness to this subject, because yeah, it's not easy to talk about, it's not easy to do, and that's why the military, when people join, it's like only the 1% of people that actually do join. You know what I'm saying? So the army vets that are currently out, right? They are seeing this a little bit differently, right, from the people that are currently in right now. So just wanted to say right now, just shout out to everybody that is in the military. Shout out to all the military spouses, because the ones that are really making sacrifices are the ones that are in the uniform and the ones that are at home watching the kids. You know what I mean? So other than that, you guys, I just wanted to bring that to your awareness, right? Don't let this hurt you. Don't let this overwork you. Don't let this hinder your progress for your own personal growth. Use this as a way to find deeper connection in yourself, deeper connection with your family, deeper connection with your kids, and just tap back in, right? Lock in with the best version of yourself, right? Because life is short. You never know when your time is, right? But when that time does come, your time does come. So don't take time for granted, because this is something that you can never get back, right? We live this beautiful, amazing life, right? So what can you do? How can you convey your message, right? What can you say? What type of positive message can you bring to everybody's forefront? So this is what I'm currently doing right now. And I just want to bring this to your forefront, you guys. And this is just a way that I can say my message just a little bit different. So if you guys like that, if that did make sense to you guys, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment what you guys are learning, because I'm currently using YouTube right now as my learning curve to be my earning curve, right? Because I'm learning with you guys. I'm not perfect in this, but this is something I'm also learning proactively while I'm helping people get healthy on some of the best tea in the world. So if you haven't got no tea, make sure you guys click the link in the description down below. Check out some cinnamon tea, raspberry tea, lemon tea, to keep more videos like this coming. Other than that, you guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Salute.